Hi guys, good afternoon, and welcome back once again to the EdWord. I'm your host Eddie, and in today's video I'll be discussing what I thought of the big news that broke a few hours ago. It is now officially confirmed we have our Invisible Man for the Invisible Man reboot starring Elizabeth Moss coming out next year, March 13th, 2020. Production is set to begin this month in July in Sydney, Australia, and that actor is now Oliver Jackson-Cohen. For those of you who don't recognize the name, Oliver Jackson-Cohen was the actor who played the troubled twin named Luke in Netflix's recent horror awesome TV show hit, The Haunting of Hill House. He was excellent in that series, and he played an awesome troubled character who was having problems with drugs and psychological issues while being connected to a haunted house, and he could play a really unsettling, disturbed character, and I think that's probably the kind of role that the Invisible Man requires it to be. So this is very, very exciting news. I was wondering, and I was speculating that we were going to be hearing something official or some kind of news or confirmation or announcement sooner rather than later, with production supposedly set to begin in Australia of this month, and now with the casting and the announcement of the lead role himself, the Invisible Man, now we finally know that this movie is definitely starting to really round out. The cast is shaping up quite nicely, and they are about to begin production. So this is all very, very exciting. You know what's cool about the Invisible Man movie is that it comes out the exact same date as another highly anticipated monster movie of the same year, Godzilla vs. Kong. So I'm going to be torn between to see which one I'm going to see first, Godzilla vs. Kong or the Invisible Man. So it's just kind of a funny coincidence, but it's still all very, very exciting. Gives us a lot of reasons to be excited for March of next year. So this is very, very exciting. I'm delighted to see that they've cast this particular guy to play the Invisible Man. I thought he did an excellent job in The Haunting of Hill House. I can't wait to see what he'll bring to the role of the Invisible Man. Although I do wonder if this now confirms that he will indeed not be appearing in the second season in The Haunting of Hill House, which has now been called The Haunting of Bly Manor, because it's a brand new season with a brand new setting, brand new haunted house, and brand new characters. So it seems unlikely he'll be making an appearance, because he kind of teased or hinted that he couldn't discuss anything with anybody because he thought Netflix would, quote, shoot him for it. So that remains to be seen. But in the meantime, it's exciting to know that he's been confirmed to be our new Invisible Man for this generation. Now, originally, several years ago, about 3 years ago, it was announced Johnny Depp was cast as the role of the Invisible Man, with the intention of having him be the Invisible Man in Universal's idea at the time, shared cinematic universe where all the Universal monsters share screen time together. The film that intended to start this cinematic universe was The Mummy, featuring Tom Cruise and Sofia Boutella from about 2 years ago. Unfortunately, that flopped both critically and financially, causing Universal to put a pause on their plans because they stopped production or pre-production of the next Universal monster film, which was Bride of Frankenstein. That was to be directed by Bill Condon, and they decided to pull the plug on that and decided to gather their bearings and wait and see what they were going to do with it. Well, earlier this year, back in January, it was announced and confirmed that filmmaker Leigh Whannell was going to be writing and directing a remake of The Invisible Man for Universal under the Blumhouse Productions banner with Jason Blum. So now it seems like the Universal monster films are indeed happening, or at least they're going to start with this version of the Invisible Man. And like Jason Blum said, along with the president of Universal, they're just going to take it one movie at a time. They're not going to put out one after another. They're just going to take it one movie at a time, beginning with the Invisible Man, and hopefully we'll get remakes of Dracula, Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, Wolfman, Creature from the Black Lagoon, Phantom of the Opera, and maybe several others. Just classic, beloved horror characters that the Universal monsters are. Let's hope they do them justice. And whether or not they do end up being part of a shared cinematic universe remains to be seen. Seems highly unlikely, but anything is possible. I think that they're stressing that the Invisible Man will be the beginning of a series of films that are just dedicated standalone properties that these films can be made without the pressure or stress of having to be shared in a cinematic universe. So I say, as long as we get entertaining, fun horror movies with these beloved monster characters, just bring them on. You know what? I'll enjoy a standalone film about the Invisible Man as much as I'd enjoy a standalone film about Dracula or the Wolfman or any of the other characters. So this is all very, very exciting. This is shaping to be a very fun Friday. And later tonight, be sure to check back for my film review, because I'm going to go see the new horror movie Crawl in just a few hours. I'm sure I'm going to love it, as I hope you guys will too. So thank you so much for watching this video here on the EdWord. I hope you're just as excited about the Invisible Man as I am. Thanks again for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Be sure to check back later this evening for my spoiler-filled film review of Crawl, and have a wonderful rest of your weekend if I don't see you. Take care, guys, and of course, until next time, may the Force be with you.